with her. Go online at hsn.com. Still to come in 35 minutes, Samantha Brown's going to be here with her brand new limited edition special on the Ombre collection. But right now, one of our 10 faves of the day. Saved just for us, the only presentation. In fact, this is the first time I've had a chance to really see it. It is the most powerful Therapure air purifier that we have ever featured on HSN. Typical price on this is normally $170. Tonight we have our lowest price ever at $139. We have free shipping, we have 5 flex. What is it? What this is going to help clean the air inside our homes, and our air inside our homes, unfortunately, is full of allergens and smoke and odors and germs and bacteria and fumes and chemicals. There's a lot of us that wake up on a morning with a dry throat. There's a lot of us that suffer from the sniffles or itchy eyes. There's a lot of us that want to make sure that the air we're breathing is as clean as it can possibly be. This air purifier, we're going to say things about it that you don't hear said about regular ones. 2 quick questions that people want to know right now. Does it have a forever filter? Yep, you never need to spend any money on any filter. Second thing is, this has UVC technology, which is also going to help nurture a healthier home. The lovely Leah Little is here. Leah, this thing is a monster.
It is. This is really what you need to have in your home if you want to have that cleaner, healthier home. So come on over here. Let's put it to the test. What I'm going to do for you is I'm actually going to pour some smoke into this smoke chamber. And seeing is believing, right? They say what you don't know can hurt you. Well, guess what? What you don't see can hurt you. Now, entirely full, right? Should we pour some more smoke in there? Why not? So we'll just keep on continuing to fill this in. Okay. Now let's dim the lights in the studio because I just want you to see how powerful this is. Are you ready for it to go to work?
Yeah.
Think about this. Here we go. We are now going to put that Therapure to the test with 3 levels of filtration, and I want you to see with your very own eyes. Notice as it begins to draw in the air, as it's scrubbing that air every 15 minutes in your own home, you are now going to have that deep filtration, and I want you to realize what happens with that filtration. That's level 1, that's level 2. Now we're on level 3, and notice how quickly it's starting to disseminate the air. As we bring the lights up, I want to continue to just show you as it's cleaning that air. Think about this. Now, remember, it was entirely filled with smoke. I want to stay right here because I just want you to realize what's happening. It's already bringing in that clean, fresh air. Do you realize, now I want to stay here for about 30 more seconds because then that entire smoke chamber is going to be completely clear for you. What is this doing? It's pulling in and scrubbing that air right down to the micron level. When you think about how small a micron is, it's almost mind-boggling. When you think about the size of a human hair, it is pretty sizable. Oh, by the way, did you notice how it's completely clean?
Crystal clear.
Look at this. The pollen is about 20 microns. Dust and dust mite particles and pet dander, 3 microns. The smoke particle, look how teeny that is on your screen, 0.1 micron. Now look how clean that smoke chamber is when you couldn't even see through it just a few short moments ago. Seeing is believing, and that's why this is the most popular Therapure we've ever offered.
This has a filter process in it. I had to write this down because, again, I'm saying words that I've never said with any air purifier before. Hemispheric filter technology. Folks, this is all about taking it to the extreme.
Look what happens. So you have 5 levels of filtration. You're going to have that permanent filter built right in, that germicidal technology removing 99.9% of dust and pollen and particles. Then you have that UV light that reduces the pathogens. Then the photocatalytic oxygenation, which helps destroy bacteria. And you also have that oxygenating catalyst that, again, is going to help purify that area. So what happens is every 15 minutes in your home to go through all 5 levels of filtration, you have some of the most serious hospital-grade technology. When you have that UV light, you have to realize this is what you pass through when you go into those very important areas in a hospital, those very serious areas. Why? Because it literally is going to 99.9% of everything that passes through it, it will not allow to be in the air any longer. So if you have dust and dirt, and we all do in our homes, right? All those pathogens and all those allergies. If you don't have a filter in your home, if you don't have the Therapure, guess what happens? Your sinuses become the filter. Your sinuses become that cleaning system. But with this one, now you have 3 levels of speed. Let me just take you on a tour here of the top. You turn it on. Speed 1 automatically pops on for you. 2, Three different levels. Now, not only that, if you want to, you can literally touch one little button and that's gonna allow you to activate your UV light. Now, if you wanna set a timer, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, all the way to 24 hours. And on top of that, if you want to have it in the night mode, it's still on. It's still working.
Right.
But now, if you want to use it as a nightlight, great. If you want it to be entirely dark, guess what? You use the night mode. So we've thought of absolutely everything, right down to taking care of those VOCs when it comes to your nail polishes and smells and all of that that's floating around in the air. This is the most complete system we've ever offered, and this is the best value in the country.
I think there's two things. I think the first thing is identifying that we need to have an air purifier at home.
Absolutely.
And it's something that, you know, we could talk a lot about. We've been doing it a long time on HSN. We really should have an air purifier in our house. Yes, to get rid of smells and odors from pets or cooking, but more than that, it's the bacteria, it's the germs, it's the allergens, it's the stuff that's in the air that you can't see that really can be, you know, not so good for us, basically, on a daily basis. It's pollution.
Sure. According to the EPA, the air inside your home is 3 to 5 times dirtier than the air that is outside. Now, consider this. You take 20,000 breaths a day. What are you breathing in? What is your air like? Are you like our producer who just said she can't live without the air purifier in the nursery? If you want to have that cleaner, healthier home, this is absolutely the way to do it.
So real fast, because I see they've given us 12 minutes or sell out. We have basically 1,000 now remaining. We established that we need an air purifier. Then we go to a which do we buy? You can buy normal air purifiers without UVC technology for this price in every store in America. This is not average. This is the highest end Therapure that we offer. So it's the most advanced, it's the most efficient, it's the most effective. But beyond having the UVC technology, which is going to help nurture a healthier home, this also has the Forever filter. Don't be fooled by other air purifiers, because, you know, it's like anything in life. They'll sell you a less expensive air purifier, but then you've got to pay every month for the new filter. You'll never spend another penny on it. Now, this isn't the only air purifier we do. We have lots of good ones online. But for anybody that's simply looking to go from good, better, best, this is the best in terms of performance and technology level that we offer with the Forever filter. Our producer Alison just shared with me as well now, apparently under 800 with everybody calling in, especially at this time of year though, Leah, because we kind of seal up the house.
We seal up the house, and yet it's the time that we're bringing in all of those allergens and all those pathogens. And do you ever get sick when your kids come home from school?
Oh,
I never got sick in the house until Victoria started going to school. Like, what happened? Now, watch this. What goes in does not come out. What goes in does not come out. We put these little streamers on here so you can see that the air is blowing. Okay, here we go. I want you to realize the power of this filtration system. Look at this. This is allergens. These are pathogens inside this little container. What goes in does not come out. Look at the enormous amount, this plume of smoke. What goes in does not go out. Watch this side. It's going in, but it's not passing through the other side. What goes in does not come out. So if you want to have that cleaner, healthier home, imagine what this is going to do for you. What goes in does not come out. Now, not only is it going to trap all of those pathogens and all of the air that passes through it, all of those germs, but here's how easy it is, because you never have to pay for another filter again. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to vacuum this for you. So let me turn on the vacuum here and let's go to work. Are you ready? What goes in doesn't come out, and this is how easy it is to vacuum it out. Look what it's pulling out that we just put in. Wow. This is how effective it is. You're looking at the bottom of the bin of the vacuum cleaner.
My God.
And look how now you have virtually like a brand new filter. All you do is pop the back on. It's that easy. Now, would you drink that water? Would you like to be breathing those pathogens? I think not. That's how easy it is, because you never replace the filter again.
Everybody goes on and on and on and on and on and on and on about this 30-day money-back guarantee, because it's something we're proud of on HSN, but honestly, you really should do it with this. If you've got pets, if you've got cats, if you've got dogs, if you've got children, if you find that you're dusting a lot, there's a lot of just, you know, stuff in the air, get this home and put it in your living room for 20 days. If you don't feel that the air is crisper, if you don't feel that the air is cleaner, if you don't find that you're not cleaning as often, if you don't find that you don't need to buy sprays or plugins or things to mask the odor and smells, if you don't find that this totally changes the way your environment appears to be at home, of course, send it back. You get 100% refund of the purchase price. You will be so shocked at how beneficial this would be. Remember though, on the scale of good, better, best,
this is it.
This, from Therapure, we have nothing better than this. This is their powerhouse.
It is, and it's so easy, again, to just adjust the levels of filtration, totally whisper quiet for you. Let me just remind you, again, as we pour smoke into the smoke chamber, watch what happens as it literally fills the room. Now, I hope that your home isn't this contaminated, but I will tell you this, even if it is, it doesn't matter, because this unit from Therapure can handle that job. You know, there's an old adage, what you don't know can't hurt you.
Right.
Well, guess what? What you can't see can hurt you. So let's put it to the test. You have something that is so simple and so easy as you are using it. You turn it on, and here we go. We're gonna start cranking it up. Instantly working. Now level 2. Now ready? Level 3. Grabbing, and notice it. Now, it's not only pulling the air in to the unit itself, but you know what it's doing? It's literally scrubbing that air. Every 15 minutes in your home, the room that you are sitting in is now going to be completely clean. Every 15 minutes, it's gonna cycle that air. So you can see here, literally with your own eyes, as it's grabbing all of those teeny tiny little particles. Imagine the dust, imagine the allergens, imagine the pathogens, imagine the things that you don't see that are very, very real, right? You don't see music, but it's floating around. You know that it's there. Well, guess what? You don't see a lot of those particles, and you won't see them again if you have the Therapure. Look how it has cleaned this to entirely transparent in just a matter of moments, and you couldn't even see into this box. It was completely white, right? About 1 minute ago. So every 15 minutes, as a matter of fact, the time that you're watching right now, this presentation, your entire room could be cleaned. If you want to start off the new year right, this is the best solution, because there's nothing more powerful on the market from Therapure.
And with this model, you don't need to buy multiples in terms of, you know, some of the less powerful units. You might have to have one in the kitchen, one in the living room. If you have a larger room, this will take care of it. If you have an open plan space, this will take care of it. If you want this in the bedroom, even a large bedroom, this will take care of it. So it's the most powerful we offer, with all the added features and technology, the UVC technology, which is very, very important. A lot of us, you know, this is the time of year where everybody's catching something. And a purifier isn't a cure for that, but what it will do is it will help to truly clean what's in the air, what's in your immediate environment. So it is nurturing a healthier home. I bring the UVC technology up because, Leah, people will go into stores today and buy air purifiers for this price, and it does not have that technology.
Exactly. You could spend on 2 filters. You could spend this amount of money. And what you have here is the UV light that Adam's referring to. Look at this. It's the entire expanse and length of the unit itself. You have 5 levels of filtration, a permanent germicidal technology that removes 99% of dust and pollen and particles. Then that UV light actually reduces pathogens. Then the photocatalytic
A lot of big words in this ad.
It destroys the bacteria. It pulls in and oxygenates the air. You also have that catalyst that reduces those ozone levels. So you just saw in the smoke chamber right here. Let's put this in perspective.
Okay.
On the left-hand corner of your screen, what looks like a tire is actually a human hair. We've just enlarged it, right? So put that in perspective. Think about 1 human hair, and as we go down, pollen is 20 microns, dust and dust mite particles, 5 microns, pet dander. Think about smoke particles that you just saw disappear before your own eyes at 0.1 micron. Now, if it can get down to that level, seeing is believing. If you want to have that cleaner, healthier home, there is no better solution for you, because there are things floating around in your air that you don't know are there. And if you don't have a filtration system, guess what becomes the filter? Your lungs, your sinuses, your children's lungs. If you have pets, then they bring in that dander. As a matter of fact, there is pet dander in every every home in America, statistics will tell you, whether you have a pet or not, because you walk it in on your shoes if you go outside. So now you have the total solution. And because you have the VOC, what is a VOC? It's a volatile organic chemical. They're found in deodorant, they're found in hairspray, they're found in nail polish. Do you use any of these? This is gonna be the system that removes all of that for you. And here's what's so exciting.
Tell me.
One button to turn it on. You have not one, not two, but 3 levels of filtration. So for the first 24 hours in your home, run it on that high 3rd level. Then you can set the timer. So if you're leaving, you can adjust the amount of time that you want it to run for. You're ready to have those VOCs go to work for you, again, fighting against them. One touch of that button and you're able to pull out the smells in the air, and you will notice that in your own home. You want to put it into the night mode? Look at this. The lights go out, but the power is still there working for you. So we turn the night mode off, right back to full power, and now you've got something that you can literally have the difference and see the difference. And I want you to realize this filter, look at the size on this guy, right? This is not a teeny little tiny filter.
We're not kidding around.
You never spend another penny on a filter again. Those filters can run you from HEPA. You could be looking here at $50 a filter, but because of the genius development of Therapure, you never have to replace that filter again. So now you've got a lifetime unit.
That's big. It's a very important point.
Absolutely.
No expense ever again on filters.
True.
It's a forever filter. It's a more expensive product, but folks, not for you tonight. Don't wait till springtime. I mean, this is a 365 days, not months, 365 days a year product that's always going to be effective for you, but especially those of us that are allergy sufferers. When it gets to springtime, this really comes into its own. But don't wait till the prices go up when it's peak season, as it were. Right now, you're getting our most advanced at our lowest. So I don't want you thinking, well, has this ever been lower? This model, the premium from Therapure, has never been a lower price than $139.95. And don't forget, we are paying the shipping, and also don't forget it's on 5 flex pay, so basically $27.99 to be able to get it home and to see and feel and breathe the difference yourself. They're telling me with everyone on the phone line, there's about 450 now remaining, with everybody placing their orders right now. So it is a last call. Okay, Leah, what can we do in the final 2 minutes?
So let's just put on the speed. So here you can see the unit is working. We've got that little ribbon so you can see that air movement absolutely flowing through. I want you to notice what goes in does not come out.
Okay.
Now what I've done is I can fill this little container with dust and particles and allergens. Look at this. What goes in does not go out. So it's going in this side, it's grabbing 99.9%, and it's holding it. Why? It's sending you out that cleaner, fresher air. What goes in does not go out. What goes in, look at that. I'm literally sending a plume of dust and allergens right into the system. Look at this. What goes in does not go out. We've given you this black background so you can see if there were any dust going right through. You have something that literally is going to trap all of those dust and all of those dust mite particles right down to 0.1 micron. So if you now want to have that cleaner, healthier home, there's no better way to do it than with Therapure, and there's no more powerful system that they've ever offered to you. What goes in does not come out. What system could do this in your home? You add to that the UV light, and you've got a combination here of 5 levels of filtration that give you that cleaner, healthier home every single day.
I'm going to be dreaming that tonight. What goes in does not come
go out. It's amazing, isn't it?
It's the new mantra, but it's true.
It's true.
It just stops it.
Yes. Now, come on over here. Let me show you one more time. Because the quality gets right down to that teeny tiny air level. So let me just turn off the unit. We're going to turn it off. Okay, let me fill up the smoke chamber so you can just see literally how powerful this unit is with your own eyes. Because I believe that when you get this in your own home, you'll see the difference. You'll feel the difference. We'll turn it on and watch the Therapure unit go to work as it's pulling in, not just moving the air around, but scrubbing that air, purifying that air for you, giving you that cleaner, healthier home. Look at what it's doing in just a matter of seconds. Imagine if it's running 24 hours a day in your own home. You breathe 20,000 breaths a day. Wouldn't you feel incredible if they were better breaths, if they were healthier breaths? How about for your children? How about for those people that are coming to visit you? Look at what's happening before your eyes. It was completely full, right, of
Not
smoke.
anymore.
You couldn't even see through it. And now it's becoming transparent. In about 10 more seconds, it's gonna be completely clean inside this chamber. And the sooner you get it home, the sooner it can be completely clean inside your home.
And remember, what goes in
Does not come out.
There it is. Thank you, Leah.
Absolutely.
We'll see you later, my darling. Stay in the ordering process for yours. Again, that will not be seen again on TV this season. That is your only chance to be able to get it. Thank you for your calls. We'll let you know when it's sold out. That's one of our 10 faves of the day. Check out all of our 10 faves by going online right now at hsn.com. Also, for all